Hey my lovelies, this is Matulu, and today I'm showing you how to make a curry. Now, this is as close as you're going to get it from the Nutritional Guide by Dr. Sebi. The flavor is definitely close enough to a traditional curry, and I trust that this recipe will serve you well. So here I'm just chopping up roughly, altogether it was 5 bell peppers. So usually when I make this recipe, I only use yellow bell peppers, but I only had a few, so the orange just had to substitute. So you want to chop it down medium to small size and put them at the bottom of your blender to get it moving, because we're not going to be adding any water. So I added some more habanero, some fresh coriander, some sea salt, onion powder. This is annatto seed powder, wild caraway seeds, anise, fennel, and powdered coriander. Here is a tablespoon of date syrup, and I added 1 more bell pepper, which made it 5, hence why I said 5 in the beginning, because you only saw 4 in the beginning. So here I'm just chopping up 1 medium, actually small, red onion. I'm going to add some grapeseed oil to my salad master, and we're just going to saute these onions to sweat it down. I'm going to add a little piece of ginger, like half a thumb size. Now you want to mince it down as small as you can. You can grate it if you want. If you have like a press that they usually use for garlic, you can use that. So now you want to add your chopped or minced ginger to the onions. So now this curry here is what I call the blogger curry. So you could add any vegetables that you like. I definitely experiment on the odd occasions, but when I'm making this curry, I definitely like to use blogger bananas. So it's essentially like for those of you that don't know what a blogger banana is, it is a green banana, which is very high in iron. It has the texture of a white potato. It's very lovely. I add it to soups, stews. I use it as a substitute for potato chips. It's incredible. You should try it. So here I'm just going to dice it up nice and small and add it to our onions and ginger. I love this recipe. It's so comforting. I encourage women that are pregnant to eat this. Definitely eat this, because you will find that it just gives you lots of energy, super comforting, and very nourishing. So what I did is I added a bit of the annatto seed. So the annatto seed is what we would use as our substitute for turmeric to bring color to our dishes. But the beautiful thing about annatto seed is that it's not just about color. It actually has minerals in it, and it is abundant in iron. So everything that I use when it comes to me preparing meals, I'm very conscious of the medicinal properties of each ingredient. So here I didn't wash the blender out. I added roughly about 600 mils of water and some coconut cream. And now we add it to our curry and just let that simmer for about 10 minutes. Some fresh thyme, a bit more sea salt. Remember, I always say season your food in layers, okay? So now we're moving on to our mushrooms, our oyster mushrooms. So I'm just going to coat these like a southern fried style, and we'll pair it with the dish later on. So what I like to do is I like to split the bottom because it can be quite thick. I want to make sure that every nook and cranny gets some of the seasoning. So I added some sea salt, cayenne pepper, clove, and onion powder. And now I'm about to add roughly 1 cup of chickpea flour. And that's it. I don't do the wet batter thing. Just a dry mix is fine. So now we're going to shallow fry our oyster mushrooms on both sides until they're golden brown, and then we'll set them aside. So what I like to do is I tend to fry one first, taste it, and make adjustments if need be. So the adjustments will be obviously with your seasonings. You may need to add a bit more salt, a bit more pepper, a bit more onion powder. Yeah, so I always encourage people to fry one first, taste it and see. Now once you plate it, I didn't show you this, what you do is you get yourself some kitchen paper towels and then dab it to remove the excess oil. So moving on, we're going to create our relish. So I'm using another red onion. This relish involves my ketchup recipe. If you go to my Instagram page, you will see on the reels that I posted a video showing you how to make ketchup. So that's the ketchup there. So this relish is just habanero, onions, cherry tomatoes, and a bit of ketchup and some sea salt. I also added some lime oil that I made, which you can see there. It's just literally infused lime rinds with grapeseed oil. Now you don't have to add that. I was just being extra because I like extra shit, yes. So here we are, we have our fonio. We're plating up our dish now. This here was my husband's plate, hence why it's very large. So we use the fonio as a substitute for rice. Fonio is delicious, it's beautiful. It has a similar texture to couscous, but better. I use it to make my cakes. I use it to make fufu, rice balls, a rice substitute. You could turn it into a flour. You can play with fonio. You could definitely be very creative with it. So here's what the dish looks like, my lovelies. Yes, it's lovely. I trust that this recipe will serve you pregnant mamas very well.